Yeah, this is VFW Post 8006, and it was chartered on July the 27th, 1946. And what we're doing right now, we're in the process of raising money, raising awareness for our 75th anniversary, which will take place July the 23rd, 24th, 25th of 2021, with or without COVID. Doesn't matter. At this point, we're going to celebrate the 75th anniversary of one of the oldest established VFWs in the state. Currently, right now, there's in Western Mass, there's probably only 2 or 3 other ones. Out of 17 that belong to the district, there's only a couple of us with physical buildings. And this building was, I'm told, I don't have all the paperwork on it, but it was the late 1890s. It was a Unitarian church, I believe it was. I don't have all the incidentals on it, but as you can see, this was upstairs where the pews were. There's a choir up there. There used to be a pulpit on this side. That side, I'm not too sure, but pictures I saw, there was also a steeple on that corner of the building. That got a little rickety a few years ago, and they took that down. And there's still like a little walkway to get up in there. Downstairs, directly below us, is the hall for banquets. And then behind me downstairs is another lounge that we have. We have a little bar up here. This hall is used for weddings, fundraisers. We have had bands up here. In the past, years ago, prior to me becoming a commander, they used to have the National Rifle Association up here, teaching all the kids and Boy Scouts or whatever about handguns and rifles or whatever. They've had Boy Scouts up here, the Pinewood Derbies up here. So it has a long storied history. Right now, the membership, I think we're at 130 members, and we have 97 members in our auxiliary. A little bit about the VFW is if you want to become a member of the VFW, you must have served in a hostile environment overseas where you're engaging the enemy is engaging you, you're in an area that is a declared war zone, receiving hazardous duty pay, then you can become a member of the VFW. Unlike the American Legion, as long as you're a member of the armed services, you can become a member of the American Legion. That's why their numbers are up and our numbers are down. In order to become an auxiliary member, and we rely heavily on our auxiliary people, there must have been a relative that was a member of the VFW, mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather, that kind of a connection, then you become an auxiliary member. And so no matter what Kurt says, he's not there yet, okay, so we'll see. Yeah, it's an old building, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let the COVID or anything else stop us from celebrating our 75th anniversary. It is also one of the largest buildings for a VFW. The district and state officials come in, they hold a lot of meetings up here. And so, as you can see, you're going to have plenty of room for the deal, the podcast. I served in Vietnam. I served in 1967 and 68. I served with the 1st Air Cavalry Division, Air Mobile Helicopters, and I was infantry, and I walked point for 6 months on the ground. I was there for Tet Offensive of 68, and after I got injured, I got sent back to the rear, and I did a lot of helicopter duty. But for the last 4 or 5 months that I was there. And I came back in 1968 and finished my tour, finished my obligation to the United States military in Fort Carson, Colorado. So imagine this, in August of 68, I'm in 100 and something degree weather where it's humid.
No, I'm just laughing.
You know the deal.
Yeah.
So I come home for 30 days, didn't draw a sober breath, but that's beside the point. I just wanted to come home to cold beer, a job, and that's what we talked about. So anyways, I come out of Vietnam, come home for 30 days. They ship me to Fort Carson, Colorado. This is in like the middle of September, 1968. If you're familiar with the Rocky Mountains at all, it can frickin' snow up there in July. So they sent me out on maneuvers with a tank corps. I knew nothing about tanks. And I'm just carrying a rifle around, sleeping in a frickin', I got so sick because, I just come out of the jungles and now they send me to where it's, 20 below zero. Frickin' Army, huh? Jeez. So that was entertaining. But I tell you, when I was out there, I got to see, God, what's her name? I can't think of her. No, Big Brother in the Holding Company. What was that? Yeah, sure. I'll think of it. But anyways, I spent the next 6 months out there. Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin. Yep, Janis Joplin. I can't remember that. And
nice bike.
Yep. It was good. We had some good times here at Fort Carson. I mean, Colorado's a party state. But I finished my 2 years. I got drafted. I finished my 2 years in March of 1969 and came back to Northampton, Florence area, and started working here. Went to Florida for a while. Spent 7 months down there. Didn't draw a sober breath there either. Oh, that place, Florida, is terrible. But that's where I started a family. Came back here, and this is where I landed. I've been a commander here for the past, Kirk, I've been a commander here for the past 7 years, okay? Get that? So he's got, if he thinks he's going to take over when he steps in here, we'll see. That's the guy that's the host, right? He's already been bragging about, he's the commander now. When he comes in there, he's going to take over. He's going to be the commander. The guy that's doing the podcast for us, raising the money, yeah, we'll see.
But so you guys were like very reliant on like fundraisers and events happening here.
Yeah,
kind of
totally.
Just killed that.
In order to keep the lights on, we have to keep the bar going too. And the COVID really hit us hard. We closed March the 18th, and we weren't able to open back up again legally until, I don't know, just a couple months ago. We had some fundraisers out here. Gwen, who is an auxiliary member, diagnosed with stage 4 cancer of the ovaries and her stomach, had a tumor in the bottom part of her stomach, and we had a fundraiser out here in the yard, and I didn't care what they were saying. We were going to. Yeah.
But you guys also have like events here, like for.
Yep.
Like I heard you guys do like Thanksgiving dinner.
We have our Thanksgiving dinner coming up. Again, we're going to do that come hell or high water. We open the doors to anyone that wants to come in for a free meal. We'll even give you takeout, especially now. Come in, grab a meal. There's no questions asked. We don't care if you're a veteran or down home. It doesn't matter. Come in, and as long as the food's there, availability, as long as we don't run out. We started on Thanksgiving Day. We start right around noontime, and we'll serve up until 4 or 5 o'clock that afternoon. And it's been highly successful the past, this has got to be like the 5th or 6th year we're doing it. And so I got a lot of auxiliary members come in and put on the apron and serve. And we will, what we'll do social distancing, we'll do the mask, and the Board of Health has told, we have to serve the people, but people can't come over and just take whatever they want. So yeah, we are going to do that. Yes. Christmas around here, the last 2 years, we really haven't had enough little kids around, we're all getting older, and all our grandkids are getting older. So we don't do too much on Christmas. Typically we'll have a Halloween party, but this year doesn't look like it because
it's not going to be Halloween. In most places, I've heard a bunch of cities and stuff. Right?
We are doing Halloween out here in the parking lot. We are. It's going to be called Trunk or Treat. We're going to line up all our cars on the sidewalk. We're going to string lights out there because the mayor has given the kids permission to go house to house. So we're going to open up our trunks, load them up with candy, and say, kids, jump in.
Nice. Nice.
grab all you want, trunk or treat.
Nice.
Yep. And the VFW typically sponsors a rag shag parade, which is huge, 3,000 adults, kids in the rag shag parade. They come right down Route 9, Main Street, but they're not having it this year. At least they told us we can't have it. We'll see. We'll see.
So
Some things you got to do, you just got to kind of slide under the radar a little bit, you know?
yeah. So you said it's coming up on the 75th anniversary. And
Yeah.
So how long have you been a part of the VFW?
Me, myself?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. 10, 11, 12 years probably. For the longest time I stayed away. When I came back from Vietnam, I'd seen enough, I'd done enough, and, you know, been there. Joe can attest to it. Joe was in overseas, Iraq, right? Or Afghanistan.
Last stop, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Before that, multiple stops.
He was medic. Those guys see their shit. I'd had enough. I'd seen enough, so I stayed away. And actually what happened, 9/11 kind of woke me up a lot. And then I started talking to some buddies, some guys up on the hill, the VA. I jumped in with both feet. A few years back, I even conducted a bus tour for a busload of 52 of us went down. We brought World War II and Korean War veterans all free of charge to the memorials in DC. We brought them down there for 4 days, all expenses paid. We went out and raised some money. It's called the Veterans Council in Northampton, which I'm a part of, and in 6 months, we raised $26,450, and it was more than enough to cover the expenses for all those guys and women. There were a couple of female participants. And since that time, we've lost 13 of them. So our timing was right to get that done. Yeah, my heart goes out to the veterans because I've been there, done that, and I know how much. I'm not going to say I really got shit on a lot from Vietnam, but before I got drafted, there was a group of probably 13 or 14 of us hung around a couple summers before I got drafted. We used to go down the river, water skiing, partying, drinking beer, you know, having a good time, still working every day, and the whole group. And when I came back, to this day, I haven't seen one of them. They all turned their back. Some of them were going to college, they had college deferments and what have you, but I can run into them down on the street and they don't know who I am. So they can kiss my ass. You know, that's how I feel. I mean, I know what the veterans have gone through. I know what Franny Robles has gone through. Franny knows what I've been through. Joe knows what I've been through. I know what Joe's been through.
So this is
Bottom line is still it's a love for the country.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's the flag. I don't care. I don't care.
so
What's going on? Well, I'm going to start. I'm going to start crying. What's going on out there now is they don't get it. They don't get it. I don't care about the politics or whatever, but they just don't get it. They don't. I know just in this building, the sacrifices that these guys that came back from World War II in 46, and they decided to put together a VFW. Now, a lot of the work that was done in this building was done by them. So you can tell. I mean, you can go down cellar and you can see the old plumbing and the old wiring, but they did it. All these guys stuck it out. They did it. They did it. They stuck it out, had their families here, entertained each other, what have you. You know, we had the bar downstairs. There were some war stories I heard about, guys falling backwards off a frickin' bar stool, getting back up, and, you know, that's how it was. So, again.
So this is definitely more than just a social group. It sounds more like a family of shared experiences. Someplace you guys can go.
Yep.
Where you guys like understand each other.
Yep.
And it's
Actually, we don't really talk about it that much because we get it. We don't, you know, we don't really even have to share war stories. Joe and I talk a lot, but it's, I think it's a common denominator once you become a member of the VFW that been there, done that thing, you know. And, oh, you're VFW? You know, we know what it takes to get in here, so we know what you've done and where you've been. Been away from your family, been away from your friends, So this place got a history. And in my heart, I'm not going to let this blood, all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this place go down the hill. I'm not going to let COVID stop it. We're doing everything we can to keep it going. Like I said, downstairs at the bar, yeah, sometimes we slide under the radar and let people in the back door, but hey, they're good to us and they're helping us pay the bills. We still have a mortgage, still got electric, still have the gas company on our back, still have to heat the building. This place has a storied history. One of our veterans years ago lost his son in Vietnam. I'm not going to say the name. And he couldn't bear it anymore. Downstairs in the front of the building, he committed suicide. He couldn't bear to not have his son anymore. And he was a World War II veteran. So it has a storied history. It has a lot of good times. There's been a lot of good times here. Like I said, there's been weddings and fundraisers and a lot of bands, and we have karaoke.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Even though we're not supposed to, we still have karaoke. So Kurt knows I'm the commander, right? Right?
He knows you.
Right now I am.
Previously, the artist previously known as the.
Oh, yeah, okay, well,
To be replaced by.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are you on now?
Yep. So
Okay,
it's
well,
not live or anything.
no,
but,
that's all right. But, I'm still the commander. I don't care what you say or what he says.
Sure.
He's not even interim commander yet because he's not here.
Okay.
All right? And then we may have to put it up for a vote. So,
we'll see.
well, I know.
We'll see about that.
Yeah,
We're not big
it's
on
all
it.
right. What do you call him? He's calling himself Commander Kirk, right? That's the guy that is running.
Yeah.
He's the host, is he? Is he
We're not
actually?
big on democracy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kirk Minihane.
Yeah, okay. We'll see about that.